Welcome to the podcast series, Small Business Survival Conversations. Through our weekly conversations, we hope to provide you with strategies and insights, knowledge and expertise to enlighten you as you work to build and grow your business.
Good morning, business warriors. I would like to start with a question this week. Have you ever scrolled through LinkedIn or Instagram and thought, how are they already there? How do they have more clients, more visibility, more revenue? And meanwhile, you are over here grinding away, doing the work and wondering if you're falling behind. Here is what I want you to know today. That speed doesn't win in business. Strategy does. And of course, I have a story that proves it. So welcome back to Monday Morning Motivation, which is part of the Small Business Survival Conversations podcast. I'm your host, Anna Steinfest, and every Monday we start your week with a story that teaches real practical lessons you can actually use to grow your business intelligently. So today's lessons comes from a classic Grimm fairy tale, The Hedgehog and the Hare. Now, I know what you're thinking. A children's story? But I want you to stick with me. This one hits differently when you're running a business. And I want you to picture this. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. The sun is shining. The fields are blooming. The hedgehog is standing outside his home, soaking it all in. He decides to take a walk to check on his turnips. That is his livelihood, his crop, the thing that puts food on the table. On his way, he runs into the hare. The hare is fast, confident, proud, and let's be honest, kind of jerk. When the hedgehog says good morning, the hare mocks him. What are you doing out here on your crooked little legs? Shouldn't you find something better to do? The hare laughs, assumes he's superior just because he's faster. Now, the hedgehog doesn't get defensive though. He doesn't argue or start justifying himself. Instead, he says, okay, let's race. Of course, the hare laughs even harder. You race me? Fine, let's do it. But here's the thing. The hedgehog has a plan. He goes home and brings his wife. She looks just like him. He positions her at the far end of the field, and he stays at the starting line. So the race begins. The hare bolts down the field full speed, legs pumping, convinced this will be over in seconds. So he reaches the finish line, breathless and exhausted. And here's a voice. I'm already here. So he's confused. He races back to the start. And again he hears, I'm already here. He runs again and again and again, each time faster, harder, more desperate to prove himself, until finally he collapses. The hedgehog never outran the hare. He outthought him and outsmart him. Okay, small business owners, this is where it gets real. So what the hare represents? The hare represents the businesses obsessed with speed over strategy, the entrepreneurs burning out trying to do it all, and the people hustling harder instead of smarter. leaders driven by ego instead of intentions. And the hedgehog represents the business owners who know their limitations and planned around them. Represents the leaders who build systems instead of grinding endlessly. It represents entrepreneurs who use leverage, positioning, and smart thinking. So here's the key lesson. The hedgehog refused to compete on the hare's terms. He didn't try to be faster. He didn't pretend he had strengths he didn't have. He designed a strategy that worked for him. In business, you don't win by copying someone else's strengths. You win by building a strategy around yours. The hare lost because of his ego. He represented his opponent. He laughed instead of listening. He assumed speed alone would guarantee success. Does this sound familiar? In small business, ego shows up as overworking instead of planning, scaling too fast without a system to support it, or ignoring advice because you're saying, I've got this. Or sometimes burning out, trying to prove you can do it all by yourself. The hedgehog didn't care about looking impressive. He cared about winning wisely. And that's the shift you need to make. Let's make this practical. Here are 3 things you can do this week to stop racing like the hare and start thinking like the hedgehog. Action step number 1. Stop racing on someone else's track. In fact, we had another podcast episode similar to this. I want you to start asking yourself, who am I subconsciously competing with? Whose pace am I trying to match? Whose version of success am I chasing? This week, redefine what winning looks like for you based on your goals, your values, and your timeline, not theirs. Action step number 2, build a smarter system. The hedgehog won with positioning and strategy, not effort. I want you to ask yourself, what can I automate this week? What can I systemize so I'm not reinventing the wheel every single time? Or what can I delegate or outsource or even simplify? Because remember that smart systems beat nonstop hustle every single time. And especially with all AI tools right now on the market, you can choose one of them to help you. Action step number 3, I want you to use your advantage, not someone else's. The hedgehog accepted who he was and built his strategy around it. This week, I want you to identify one strength you already have, one limitation you can work around, and one strategic move that levels the playing field. Remember, you don't need to be the fastest. You need to be the most intentional. And here is your takeaway for this Monday. You don't have to outrun anyone to win in business. You just have to stop letting ego and comparison decide the rules. Build smart, plan intentionally, and remember, slow, strategic progress beats reckless speed every single time. I'm your host, Anna Steinfest, and this has been Monday Morning Motivation on the Small Business Survival Conversation podcast. Now, I want you to go out there and win your way.
You've You've been listening to the Small Business Survival Conversation podcast. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode. In the meantime, hook up with us on our Facebook group at Small Business Survival Tools and Tips. Till next time, thank you for listening.